What's going on, guys? It's Monday, July 24th, and I just worked a crazy shift at my JOB. Went in 7 last night, got back to the house here around 3 this afternoon. Worked a double sacrifice you make to take off on a Friday, and we're gonna go around the farm and do our chores. So I think tonight we're gonna feed the animals, the normal. We're gonna take a look at the garden. We'll show you guys kind of what we got going on for the garden this year. Big pigs. Ziggy, you hungry, buddy? Oh, all right. Pigs are at about 4 to 5 pounds a day right now. Seem like they're putting on a good amount of weight, so we're gonna keep it there. You guys love to just hang here, don't you? Sheep just taking in the shade this evening. It's Coco. That is our daughter's favorite sheep right there. Oh no. That's not the reading you want. We've let this electric net get covered in weeds just throughout the summer, all the rain we've gotten. It's doing the job, it's holding them in, but that is not the charge you want on your typical fence. The only reason I'm not too concerned about it is we are going to move these sheep to the next pasture soon. So it's only a matter of time till we just pull it out of here. Typically you should be moving your fence so you can trim where the fence line would be. But for now, we've had no issues with any sheep getting out, so I'm all right with it. We're going to go check the tensile. Typically like the fence to be around 6,000 to 7,000 volts. So that was 1900. Again, not going to do the job in most instances, but I think with how large our pasture is and more of a physical barrier right now, the sheep really have no incentive to get out. So we can live with it, but I don't want to test that too long. Mid 80s every day. Humidity has been very high. We get afternoon storms. Must have had a storm roll through this evening or this afternoon. Like I said, I came home and went right to bed for a little bit after working a long night. But the weather here and then the evenings are just absolutely fantastic. Humidity kind of burns off a little bit, and we're gonna get a trail camera out right back here so we can monitor the corner of the fence. So we've actually had a bunch of chickens. So we raise a bunch of meat runs every year, chickens. Definitely over 100 a year over at my parents' house, just across the way a little bit. And recently we've just lost a ton of chickens due to some sort of predator, whether it's a raccoon or a fox getting in the tractors. Do hear coyotes at night, so definitely going to put a camera out over here. This sheep fence is not 100% predator proof. Pretty much anything larger isn't going to go through it, but if a coyote really wanted to, they'd find a way to dig under. So again, that's why we're checking the voltage here tonight, just to make sure we're hot. But I'm gonna put a camera right down here. That way we can see kind of what we get on camera here, making sure that nothing's stalking our sheep. See if we gotta take any other precautions to keep them safe. Let's check it out. This is a digital fence tester from Premier One. You can get these from a lot of different companies. This just came with our Energizer that we use on the netting, the IntelliShock. So works well, works for anything. See our tensile here. See what we got. Oh yeah, it's exactly what you want. 7100 volts. That'll be plenty to keep the sheep in. Hopefully the coyotes don't go under, but I think that bottom wire is definitely low enough. Let's go see if we can get our camera set up. We'll take a look at the garden as well. Oh, there he is. Bucky, what are you doing in there? I think he definitely minds the heat. They do shed, these Catans, they do shed their hair in the summer. But again, he's a Catan and a Texas Dall. Definitely a little bit woolly, for sure. He had his coat a lot later than the others. So I think the heat does bother him. You often find him in the shade, and then in the evenings he's out grazing the pasture. So he's just gonna hide in there in that nice shady spot. So our original garden is actually where the pigs are now. Obviously, hindsight says that was a design flaw for sure. We spent 3 years building fantastic soil. I mean, we were producing, our production was extreme. It was a pretty large garden, roughly 40 by 40. So we had a bunch of beds in there. And unfortunately, it just made sense to put the animals over there. So we started with the sheep last year. I continued with the garden and the sheep in there, and that became a nightmare. They actually ended up breaking into the garden and just made a mess. So we made the move this year. We took a step back with our garden. We did downsize, but we brought it closer to the house. So a couple big wins with that. Obviously, we're a lot closer. We can touch it every day, and I would highly recommend anybody planning a garden, get it close enough to your house as you possibly can, so you actually get out and pull the weeds. You get out and harvest your crops there, because where it was, it just wasn't conducive to doing that. And obviously, with a million other things going on the farm and introducing new animals this year, we did downsize. So our soil isn't the greatest over here. You know, they're freshly dug beds. I didn't do a whole lot to them. Just kind of plant, set and forget. And we've gotten some decent results this year. You know, we pulled some cabbage, pulled some broccoli. Obviously, lettuce will grow just about anywhere here. And then we have tomatoes and cucumbers coming on now. So your basics, not exactly the depths that I would like to go. Like to grow a lot of different peppers and things like that. I've always had some good luck with eggplant, and this year we really haven't had any eggplant, but confident that this will become exactly what our other garden was. So we'll show you some of the stuff here, and this is red Russian kale. This stuff just grows like crazy for me. I grow it every year. Honestly, I grow so much of it just for seed, and I feed it to the birds. I definitely think the birds really enjoy it, so I grow the crap out of it. I don't eat a lot of it, but again, it goes to seed for me. Just keeps coming back. You get a lot of volunteer, so next year all the seed will drop in here, and we'll have a lot of volunteer kale in the same spot. Also have a bunch of lettuce growing here that's basically finished. It's starting to go to seed here. You can see this was Butter Crunch. Or no, sorry, this is Black Seeded Simsim. Still pretty good. I mean, it's bitter now when you eat it like this. So I mean, I'll continue to eat it, but it's going to seed. It's good stuff. Looks awesome. One of our last cabbages here. We got another one right to the side of me. Pretty big size. I'll probably let this guy go for a couple days, and then we'll take this out. Got a couple others here that just didn't quite go. These are all carrots in here. All the carrot greens. I planted these extremely tight, and honestly, I wasn't exactly looking for a harvest, being that the soil was so compact here. And when I dug this, the name of the game here is let them grow. Probably let a lot of them rot in the ground, kind of fill those pockets. Worms will kind of come in and eat that stuff up, and it'll be like a natural compost. I'll see if I can pull one out. Try to get down in there and get these out sometime. It's a yellow one. You can see I mean, got enough of them in here. You could definitely have a little meal, and we will. You know, we'll cook them up with dinner one night. Those are actually pretty cool, those yellow ones. I would say this is probably the size most are. Got the last remaining little bit of broccoli here. You can see a couple little heads. These little heads actually are great to kind of saute and stir fry. So we'll pick a couple of them off. Some more lettuce here. This is a pinhead variety. Looks really cool. Cilantro. Cilantro is all going to seed, so we'll wait for that. Some curly kale. This stuff is actually better than the red Russian. Taste is really good. It's probably not as bitter, and it looks really cool. Throw it in salads. Grows really well here. All kale grows really well. Got some more red Russian here. And some more. Then we have some chard down here, Swiss chard. Only had this one plant grow for me, but it is a really neat color. Take a look at that. Chard's really good to saute, chop up the stems, kind of wilt the leaves over anything. So down under, there's rutabaga. You can see there. Rutabagas coming up. Peppers just aren't growing like they have in years past. Again, haven't put a ton of attention into them. So we're gonna see what happens here, but not really looking forward to a ton of peppers. Got some tomatoes starting up here. I really should stake these. Definitely have some on the vines already. A ton of weeds in here that I gotta pull. Got some cherries, got some bigger ones, but we'll get a decent yield of tomatoes this year. And we got cucumbers coming on. Lots of flowers, only this one little fruit. Not sure what's going on here, but we'll continue to trellis them up. So that's it for our garden, guys. Like I said, we definitely downsized this year, and I'm okay with that. You know, it's something I've always struggled with, just trying to get so much done and really trying to achieve perfection to the best of our ability here with the gardens and things like that. You got to be able to take a step back and just realize that you're not always going to get everything perfect. Take what you can get out of it each year. I mean, we're going to get a bunch of veggies this year, and the goal will really be to just make it better year over year. So end of the year, we're going to work on really building that soil. We're going to cover that garden. We're going to get a lot of that chicken and pig manure in there. And next year, we're going to be rocking, ready to go. All right, look what came. Got our SD cards. We're going to put a camera up. Like I said, we're going to talk about protecting our sheep a little. This camera is probably Amazon. Take a look at how it works. Put these SD cards in and put it on one of our fence posts. So I'm down here at the corner of the pasture, debating whether we put it on that post there or we put it on that tree over there. All right, there we have it. It's armed, ready to go. Kind of looks over these paths right here. We'll see what comes through. Hopefully, just some deer. All right, guys, really appreciate you hanging with us again tonight. If you like our channel, please give us a good old thumbs up. Subscribe to our page. We're going to continue to do this. As always, if anyone's interested in anything, anyone has any questions, please let us know in the comments below. Be happy to chat with you guys.